Hello, collective, and welcome to my channel. This is a general collective reading. It is just looking at the transformation, the things that are happening during the time frame between that new moon total solar eclipse in the sign of Leo that we had on August 12th, um, and running up until the full moon in the sign of Pisces happening. I think it's coming up around the 28th, 29th. I should have had that in front of me. I'm sorry I don't, but I'm just looking at the energy that's leading up to this full moon lunar eclipse that will be taking place in the sign of Pisces. I will have readings up for each of the 12 signs for that full moon energy. You can stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit your notification buttons if you want to be alerted when those get posted. Those should be coming up sometime next week. So we're going to just tap into the energy of what's playing out from that point of that new moon up until the point of this full moon. So I'm going to start by just getting a general idea, some general energies through the Vintage Wisdom Oracle deck. Just this is more what you need to know or what is showing up for the here and now. First card up is freedom. I feel liberation is associated with that. Doesn't surprise me because we had that new moon. I felt like there was some that I keep saying new moon like it's a typical new moon, and it definitely was all but a typical new moon. This was an extremely powerful new moon. There's a lot of planets that are activated, currently activated in that sign of Leo, where that total solar eclipse is happening. The north node or the south node is in that sign as well. So there's what else is in there? Jupiter is in there, I believe. Mercury, if Mercury isn't in there, it's heading in there. I'm going to do better about bringing exactly the planets and where they are to the readings, because I do feel like they give a lot of additional information. But nonetheless, I feel like it seems to me with this freedom, there's a clearing out of energy, like something that activated during that new moon has really, I feel, stirred something up. We see the perception card. Yeah, absolutely. Looks like there's seeing something differently. I even feel rising above a situation, for whatever that means, for whoever that resonates with. But I do feel this sense of security and stability within this liberation, within this freedom card. You see that beautiful white dove right there, which is very interesting because I've been seeing doves a lot lately. So that's really cool to see that in this reading. But anyhow, I do feel there is some sort of enlightenment that is taking place, and there is this change in perception, the way you're seeing something, a situation, people, places, things. The next card we have is grace. So I do feel during this time, whatever this time, it does feel like it's an intense time, or it was, at least, the very least, it was an intense time. I kind of feel now there is this more, almost feels like the dust is settling, things are settling, there's just, um, maybe as a result of your perception on a situation or how you're seeing a situation. I feel whatever it is, you've handled it gracefully. And look at the next card that shows up is the card of peace. And there is the card of change. So I do feel like something significant. I'm seeing that white owl sticking out very prominently to me right there. Underneath this change card, which was at the bottom of the deck, was the card of protection. So I feel somebody went through in the very, recently, in the, near past, like not too long ago, they have had something initiated, some sort of change. There was like a change in the wind. Very interesting, because like even the weather, like today was such a bright, hot, beautiful day, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, these dark clouds rolled in, and one heck of a storm went rolling on through. Didn't last for a long time, maybe an hour or two, but the one thing I felt when that energy was coming through was like, here's the winds of change. I didn't feel it like a bad thing, but I definitely felt it like preparing oneself for the change or embracing the change and here we are getting ready to enter into the fall season. So there's that change as well. I feel like something bigger than that though is taking place. And I kind of feel amongst this change or within this change, there's something that's very liberating. I feel like even though you're not recognizing this, I feel like whatever the situation was that was challenging, that you handled it very gracefully. I feel like this gives me that Empress energy right there as well, where I feel like something in the future, something in the near future is coming through that does bring a lot of, that stability, that happy, healthy, loving, nurturing energy, growth, expansion, abundance, that sort of energy. I'm feeling strong Jupiter energy. And again, Jupiter is in the sign of Leo, where we just had that new moon happen, that new moon total solar eclipse happen, kicking off this uh, eclipse season. And we are approaching that full moon in Pisces, where it will be a lunar eclipse. So this is the Eight of Cups is the first card out. This card specifically talks about walking away. Like in this, you could see this person heading towards the light. Pisces energy out here already. That's where that full moon is. So it can be when that lunar eclipse comes, whatever this change is, whatever this seeing something differently is, whatever this situation is that you've been gracefully processing, moving through, dealing with. I feel like it's where you get to move forward and see that freedom, that liberation. And I feel like there's a lot of peace. I feel like there's a reward of some sort. And it feels like a very blissful, peaceful reward at that. With the Eight of Cups, though, this is literally talking about walking towards. The Eight of Cups walks towards the Nine of Cups, which is the wish fulfillment. It's walking towards the light. It's leaving behind things that are emotionally draining, not emotionally fulfilling. It does bring about some sort of change when it comes to emotions, right? Change the emotions. So this can be in regards to, people, places, things, whatever this is. The next card we have is very interesting to see this as well. I love to see this bright light, and I see that butterfly right there, the Seven of Coins. This is talking about investing their time, energy, and effort, and you can see she's got her back towards this, and I'm saying she, but there is no gender in tarot, so just take what resonates, release what doesn't. But it shows me an energy of somebody transforming something in their physical realm. And I feel like it is like investing in their, like definitely investing in their future, but I feel like they're having to leave something behind as well. Old, outdated connections maybe that aren't emotionally in alignment, whatever this is. I kind of feel, I don't feel like there's any great loss. I will say it like that, right? Like maybe the mind has a harder time processing it than the heart and soul does. I'm just going to leave it at that. You take what resonates, release what doesn't. Bottom of the deck is the major arcana card, the strength card, Leo energy. I feel like something was initiated during a new total solar eclipse moon in the sign of Leo, and it's moving its way through to that Virgo, which will be the next season we enter into, right? Virgo season. So I do feel like once this fire was lit, whatever was initiated, I feel like this is putting the time, energy, and effort, the focus into whatever that vision is for the future. Next card that comes out is the Knight of Wands. this card looks like it's coming right at this energy, and I'm not really liking that energy. I just really am not liking the feel of it. There's the Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. I feel first and foremost, this could be why it's falling underneath this grace, because I kind of feel like you gracefully handle a situation. The Queen of Cups can be very nurturing, kind, caring, loving, motherly, that sort of energy. But she is extremely intuitive as well, right? So I do feel like this is somebody in that energy, and I feel like they're confronting. I do feel like there's some sort of confrontation, and I kind of feel like it's as a result of this energy that's rushing in quite quickly. It does give me the energy of something that kind of is trying to slow down, delay, almost maybe bring you back to the Eight of Cups, right? To even before that, Seven of Cups, I would feel kind of, I just feel bring you backwards, get you from a place of where you're focusing your time, energy, and effort into moving forward. This feels like something, it can even be like an energy that shows up with some sort of dramatic situation, experience, or whatever it may be. This could be where you're very gracefully, right, trusting your intuition and handling it. I feel through with a loving heart, with just a high vibrational emotional experience, connection to the situation. But I definitely feel standing in that power. We did see that strength card, like standing ready to defend, protect, uphold, establish boundaries, hold those boundaries. 10 of Cups, I said this Eight of Cups wanted to go towards the Nine of Cups, which ultimately leads to the 10 of Cups. You could see this energy heading right to it, and you could see this energy being attracted to it. But then there is this interceptive energy that feels like it wants to come in and be Debbie Downer, or just, create some sort of dramatic experience, or insert a dramatic experience into blocking, stopping this. But I don't feel like that's going to be the case with this World card right here. I definitely feel like it's going to be a case of where now it's seen, now, like I said, turning your back on it, walking away from it, closing it out with the World card. This is being very solid, stable, fixed. All four signs on the World card are fixed energy. It's where you're solid, you're stable, you're fixed in your stance, your position, your desire, your direction, whatever the heck it is, right? And so I don't see this energy. We're going to clarify more of that anyways in a second, but I don't feel like that being the case. Like I said, I feel somebody handling this gracefully, letting go with love is what I'm feeling coming through with this situation. And look, I said that when I seen the Queen of Cups. I said heightened intuition. There's the High Priestess, Pisces energy again. I feel it's strongly somehow connected to that full moon that's going to be coming up. Like, this is intuitively knowing what stop, blocks, slows you down, drains you energetically, what you need to focus your time, energy, and effort into, what brings through more of that 10 of Cups energy, that happiness, that peace, that joy, versus the conflict, the drama, the up and down, in and out, off and on, and hot and cold. It's like shit can and that stuff. Wow, another major arcana card. And here is the Fool card. That is all about a new beginning. And I feel like this new beginning, I feel somebody's gracefully exiting out of an old situation, or an old paradigm, or an old way of being, or whatever this is. And they're gracefully embracing, embarking in alignment with what they truly desire. And you can see with all the energy that's showing up out here, it's, they want freedom, they want peace, they want happily ever after, they want stability, they want security. And somebody's intuitively knowing, like, this is in alignment or it is not, right? There's that owl with the wisdom. This is knowing better and doing better. So let's grab one more card. Yep, right here. There's the Page of Coins. I feel like there's an offer, an opportunity that's in the very near future for someone to totally shift and change the trajectory of their life, the path that they're taking. I see the dog right there. I'm feeling loyalty. I'm feeling, the Fool card right here, obviously. It's about taking a leap of faith. And it's very interesting because when you see this specific card, like this person isn't wearing a mask. They have a mask. They could be putting that mask on, but this is somebody who's like authentically, like they are their authentic self. They're not hiding behind a mask, wearing, trying to be somebody that they're not. There's somebody who's going to be having enough strength, courage, and confidence to take a leap of faith and go into the direction. Like I said, take that leap of faith going into that direction. The Eight of Cups to the Nine of Cups to the Ten of Cups. Trusting their intuition, being mindful of not getting themselves all caught up dealing with other people's problems, chaos, conflicts, drama, or being part of that sort of energy. I kind of feel this is recognizing what's underneath the Fool card, the Death card. Yeah, we've seen it. We've seen the World card. Now there's a Death card right there. Like, this is talking about there is an old cycle that is done. It's over. There has been an entire different perception on what they're dealing with, what they know to be true, what they're not willing to, like I said, sweep underneath the rug, pretend, that sort of energy anymore. So let's keep moving forward. I'm going to clarify. This perception is clarified with the Eight of Cups to the Seven of Pentacles. So this is somebody walking away from, like I said, these situations, right? They're seeing something differently. They're recognizing where they want to invest their time, energy, and effort into, right? They want to move forward towards success, towards free, there's some sort of freedom I'm feeling, not only the freedom, but the peace that comes through this liberation and the freedom. Wow. Clarified by judgment. This is a fair judgment that somebody moves forward. I mean, it's just, that's the way it is. I feel like somebody has learned what they've needed to learn. They've seen something differently now. They've recognized what they need to move away from. They're deciding to focus their time, energy, and effort onto what they need to be focused on. And there's a favorable judgment that's playing out as a result of this part of that cycle. This is part of this change that is happening, part of this liberation and freedom that somebody's going to be experiencing, and the peace that is up ahead in the very near future as a result of taking a leap of closing out a cycle and embarking on a new one. Every completion has a new beginning, right? So let's clarify this grace card, which is already clarified by the the Knight of Wands and then the Ten of Cups. And again, this, like I said, is somebody gracefully exiting out of a situation, detaching themselves from a situation, not having this interrupting their Ten of Cups, right? Their peace, their joy, their happiness, their love for life, whatever this is. This Knight of Wands running through, I feel, is just a disruptive energy that wants to come forth, either dramatically or bringing in some sort of drama or chaos and that sort of energy, thinking that is going to be what blocks, stops, prevents somebody from moving forward. All I feel like that does is give somebody that clear perception that clear view of what this energy is all about. Next card that comes up to clarify that is the Eight of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles. This is like a disruptive energy that's trying to stop something you're building, stop something you're working on. It could be something that interferes with your work, something like that. Energy, right? So I want to say be extremely mindful when you're listening to this, because like I said, with this High Priestess showing up and then this Page of Pentacles over here, which I haven't got to this yet, but I do feel like there is an offer or an opportunity of a new beginning in a different direction, an offer being presented to somebody. And so be careful if there's an energy that wants to come in and instill some seeds of fear, doubt, insecurities, kind of get you to make a bad choice. I don't feel like it's going to be like that because of this Judgment card being here, but I definitely feel like that is something to just be mindful of. So this is somebody moving forward. Like I said, you see the ascension, right? You see the 7, you see the 8, you see the 10 up here. There's beautiful energy out here. Trust your intuition and your higher self. And, just know whether you think this or not, whether you even feel like this, you are handling this entire transformation or transit very gracefully. Even though you may not feel it or think you look it, I feel people will look at that as you have gracefully bowed out. I feel bowed out of a situation that you're just not aligned with, right? That's just how I feel. No, there shouldn't be any hard feelings. I'm sure there will be hard feelings, but I feel like this is just somebody who wants to liberate themselves, bring about a positive change into their life. They've seen something they can't unsee, and they're moving away from it, and that's just that. And next card, you see this fly over, right? And it flew over here. Well, I don't know if you did, but look what it was. I mean, look what it is. It's the Devil card. It gives me that, I said somebody may be mad, so this gives me that energy of this Knight of Wands trying to prevent, to block, to stop, to get in the way of somebody moving forward towards the 10 of Cups. Like they want to come in and bring someone backwards. Like I said, stuck to a toxic cycle, an old pattern, that sort of energy. Wheel of Fortune is right here. This is some powerful clashing of energy. I can tell you that right now. It's like, something trying to bring somebody backwards, hold them back, hold them down, stop them from growing, evolving, liberating themselves, being at peace, whatever it is. Obviously anyone who's trying to interfere with that is this sort of energy anyways, demonic energy. They're the only ones that are happy, will never be happy, and will go out of their way to make misery where that's just the way it is. And I'm kind of feeling like somebody recognizes they see something they can't see, and this Jupiter card is giving me the energy of it's time for something to change. That's what I'm feeling. It's time for growth. It's time for moving forward. It's time to liberate yourself from them toxic situations. And this full moon coming up in the sign of Pisces, this full moon lunar eclipse could really bring this to a complete end of that cycle. So I was saying that, and this card flew out, Two of Swords, bringing you to a crossroads, right? This person's not looking. They're not seeing anything. They're intuitively being guided, right? And I feel like this is it. We've seen it show up a couple times out here already, where when you're at this crossroad needing to trust your intuition, really, honed into I feel trusting your higher self and your intuition. Underneath that is the Five of Wands on the bottom of the deck, because there is this energy, and we've seen it out here. This energy that wants to block you from moving away, the devil that wants to keep you trapped and bound. There's that chaos, that conflict, this drama, some sort of competition. And I look, and there it is, as a result of an Ace of Pentacles, which I feel this Page of Pentacles is the offer that's coming in. Someone wants to block this for you. They want to block it. Block it whether they get you to feel, don't take that opportunity or whatever it is. I just feel like there is an energy. I don't feel, like I said, I don't feel through any of this where I see you doing that, but I do see it putting you obviously in an uncomfortable situation when you're trying to move forward and you see somebody trying to hold you back, and know that ultimately you have to cut them loose, right? You have to let them go. You have to disconnect, detach from that energy, because once you, like I said, you can't unsee. The Two of Cups is at the bottom of the deck with the Sun card. So like I said, I have seen this coming to light. I have seen this moving through. This Ten of Cups coming in, this what you've been working on, this favorable judgment, this union of some sort. This can be in a connection. It can also be just a union of like-minded, people, kindred spirits, part of your soul tribe. It can be just your world as you know it coming together, which is bringing you know, the Eight of Cups and the Two of Cups brings the Ten of Cups. We see the Ten of Cups out there. This is like having an equal, like a, you know, a person who is, you know, a reciprocating energy for you. You feed each other, right? Your cups overflow and they're able to do that. This could be friendships where you're like minded people or just two people who help each other to grow and evolve, right? That sort of energy. But I feel wherever it's leading you straight towards truth, clarity, success, victory, happiness, joy. That's where I feel this is energy is going. All right, let me pull. I didn't even use that deck first. I don't know what I was thinking. I sure didn't. Oh, sorry. So there is the Temperance energy showing up, another major arcana card. That's that Jupiter energy. Jupiter is in the sign of Leo right now. I kind of feel like this is all something that's been initiated, triggered, something that started really moving through the change during that new total solar eclipse in the sign of Leo, and you're still watching this because we are in eclipse season. Eclipse energies don't, you know, take it like the 3 days before and 3 days after. Like I said, eclipse energies are not typical energies. I don't even recommend that people be out there doing anything during these eclipse energies, whether you have the best intentions or not, because eclipse energy is a wild card energy and it can just be thrown all out of whack. But what I'm seeing here is something is coming into balance. There's harmony being restored within a situation, could be within a partnership. But at the bottom of the deck is the Three of Wands, and this is somebody having made a choice and a decision, which we see that at a crossroad, trusting their intuition and their higher self, taking their power back and heading towards the future, turning their back on the past. And I definitely feel like there is some energy about turning their back on the past. We've seen it right here. We've seen a judgment coming out here, and judgment is obviously out here because there was a toxic connection, something that was keeping somebody stuck, trapped, bound, karmic energy, that sort of, whatever this may be, but it was not for a greater good. So I feel like this is what's being closed out. Yeah, Four of Coins. It's something that was blocking, I feel, somebody's progress, somebody's success, their growth. Yes, look, Four being blocked, worn down, battle weary, facing all kinds of obstacles, challenges. Somebody right now is resting, recovering, recharging, gaining their strength back. They're putting these burdens all behind them. All them challenges, they're dropping that burden. They're letting it go. They're putting it behind it, putting them behind them. Where's that three of putting it behind them, turning their back on the past, back on the past? When this person stands up, this person's going to be standing on this Ace of Pentacles, this fresh start, this new beginning. And I did see that Ace of Pentacles, and I did show where there was an energy that was almost trying to like intercept it, stop it, block it, delay it from happening. But I don't feel like, bottom of the deck is the Lover's card. But I don't feel like that's going to be how this rolls out. When there's divine intervention involved, like we've seen the Judgment card out here, when there is divine intervention, I don't care who's planned to do what is. If that divine intervention thinks no or says no or throws down that command to say no, I don't care what their plan was, it's not gonna play out. And I feel like this is the case. Wherever that low vibing energy is that's trying to, come in with all, like I said, chaos, drama, conflict, toxic energy, bring that sort of energy to the table, I feel like it's going to be blocked. I feel like that judgment is going to be not favorable for someone who's doing that. Look, there's the 10, right? Like this is letting go. This is closing this burdensome, like this is a burdensome cycle that someone has been in that has had them or kept them blocked, stuck, delayed, slowed down. And it's time for that cycle to end. That's why we're seeing new beginnings, the Death card, the ending, the World card, the ending. So by the time this full lunar eclipse moon in the sign of Pisces comes rolling around, I feel whoever's resonating with this message, you're going to know this is it. That cycle's over. There's no more carrying that baggage, those burdens, no more connecting with energies that'll, wow. All right, let me pull one of these little cards because I got to cover this up. Because look what shows up is the Star card. This is where that healing has taken place. This is where a major wish fulfillment comes true. This is where, you know, letting this all go just liberates and brings that freedom, that peace, that whatever this is during this. And there's the King of Wands on the bottom of the deck. And this is somebody mastering that realm of fire, the action they take, their leadership skills, their loyalty. It's all the higher vibrational frequencies. Obviously, everybody has that opportunity and free will, right? Like we can be in that high vibe of that suit, that energy, or we can be in the low vibe of that suit or energy, right? This is giving me the vibe of somebody who's in that high vibe. They're being the leader of their own life. They're having the strength, courage, and confidence to lead the way, to go ahead in the direction that they want to go. They've had to heal from a situation. Let me cover this up because I do want to flip this card and see what message came with this on this card that I just picked up to cover that. It says, I acknowledge and accept emotions as they arise within me without prejudice or judgment. And yeah, I feel like somebody is definitely not judging a situation. Like I said, I feel them gracefully bowing out, disconnecting, and for me, you know what I'm saying? I just feel that energy from this. So let's grab one more card. We're talking about this cycle closing out, whatever's been blocked, stuck, slowing someone down. I also noticed in this one right here, this one's got their heart chakra blocked off with a pentacle, right? So there could have been an energy that is more in love with, you know, material things, money, resources, things of value like that, like not really recognizing where true value is, loyalty, you know, connection, decency. Like there's so many, some people have that so messed up. And when I picked this deck to use these little message cards at the end of this reading, these are from the heart, because I felt like because we started this message, or I tapped into this message when it started with the new moon in Leo. Leo is a generous, pure heart on the higher vibrational level, right? They're generous, they're loyal, they are very compassionate, and they just love, right? They are the ruler of, I mean, the sun is their ruler. So it's like they're young at heart. They just love deeply. That's childlike love, you know what I'm saying? Where they love without judgment, that sort of energy. So I did feel these cards were going to be significant. So anyways, I'm just saying that. So yeah, I do feel like this is somebody just saying, you know, I can let go with love, you know, gracefully exit out of this situation that isn't my cross to carry, my burdens, my baggage, my, you know, I just feel that energy. And there's the Page of Wands, which is interesting to see the page and the page. So this is that page that brings through that offer, that opportunity, this conversation of a new beginning. And here's the page that takes that energy and runs with it. The Page of Wands, bottom of the deck, is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck, but when that knight shows up, it's taken very, you know, earth energy. It grows slow, right? So this was something that's been a long time coming, and I feel like now it's here, right? And someone will be acting on that, taking that leap of faith, turning their back on the past. This is a solid, look at this. This is a solid offer when it's presented. When this Knight of Pentacles shows up, you got the page. There's that communication, the conversation, the initiation of the conversation in regards to whatever this is in the physical realm. Then you have the Knight, like I said, not the Knight, the Page of Wands, which is that ignition of that flame, of that action, of that drive, of that ambition. And then you see that offer right there, and there's the Fool card, new beginning, and then the Ace of Cups underneath all of that. So this really does show me that somebody is letting that old cycle go, that cycle that was just burdensome, too much chaos, conflict, drama around situations, or that were always conflicting situations like that. I feel like this is it. They're washing their hands of this. They're going towards something new. They're embracing this change. Okay, let's grab just a couple of these little messages from these little cards. This is from the heart affirmations. So take what resonates, release what doesn't. You have a couple that showed up. I awaken to the limitless love within me. I am abundant. Yeah, remember I was talking about that somewhere where over on this card right here, I felt like somebody has life messed up. They don't recognize where true value is, right? They think value is in material things or finances or that sort of thing. They're not recognizing love is the most valuable resource of all. Unconditional, pure, authentic love, genuine sincerity. My mind is open to new experiences that will transform my life. And you can see that somebody wants something different. They want something better. And I do feel like they're going for it. And I don't feel that this energy that wants to keep them stuck, trapped, bound, stuck in the past is going to be successful. I'm just going to say that. I would just be mindful with that judgment card out there if you're one of these people trying to create blocks, obstacles, challenges, burdens for someone. Be mindful, because that will come back to you tenfold, and that judgment will be upon you too. Just because judgment is out there doesn't mean it's bad. It can be bad for one person and good for another person, so it depends. We are all free to choose. We are not free from the consequences of our choices. Next card that comes up, I hear benevolent messages loud and clear. I am my own healer. And that is that beautiful Jupiter energy too, as I'm feeling with that. Yes, like this is the blessings rolling in. And I feel like these are just, how like some people are just so grateful, right? They express gratitude and they embrace the experience or the situation or the place they're at right now. And then you have some people who are just like, pissing and moaning and kicking and bitching every step of the way. Nothing's ever enough and yada, 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 that sort of thing. It just feels like it's almost like a separation. Like, I don't want to be around that energy, right? The next card that comes out says, I sing the beautiful song of my heart, clear and loud for all others to hear. Beautiful energy. I am the master of my own mind. I am ready to move forward. And we've seen that happening in here. We've seen these beautiful new beginnings all taking place. We've seen somebody who has gone through and has recognized their own value, who has mustered the strength, courage, and confidence to persevere through the challenging storm that they went through, to have gone through an enlightenment, and to gracefully bow out, I'm feeling, of something that just isn't for them. This is a beautiful reading. I hope it resonates with you. If it does, please leave me a comment in the comment section below. Let me know if this does resonate with you. If you haven't already, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel, like this video, leave a comment, and if you would like to buy me a coffee, my link is in the description box below. Thank you for being here. I will have those full moon readings up sometime next week. I send you an abundance of peace, love, and light, and I'll see you in the near future.